Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and my space and my 13 Nights of Fright. Every night from now until Halloween, I will be uploading a little short video on spooky content. I thought this would be a nice way for me to get back into doing videos on my channel and to discuss the paranormal, which is something that I really love to do. So if you like that type of content, please make sure that you subscribe so you will be notified when I upload these videos. We are going to get into some pretty creepy topics. I have a good lineup set up. So grab a blanket, maybe grab your favorite hot beverage, pumpkin spice, tea, whatever it be. And maybe throw a little sage in there. Maybe sage your space a little bit, because these topics, some of them are dark. The first topic that I would like to get into is fear itself. What are your nightmares? What are they made of? So like I said, everybody fears something. When I was a kid, there were a couple of things that really stuck with me, stories that stick with me to this day. Even now that I am an adult and I know better, I still get creeped out about certain things. So this first story is noises in the basement. Now, some of us have basements within our home, and they always make like those little clicks, those little bangs, those little booms that, the little bumps in the night that, we tell ourselves, oh, it's just the furnace clicking on. Oh, it's just the dryer running. Well, for one girl in particular, that was not the case. You see, she was home alone, babysitting her little brother one night. And she was talking with her friend on the phone, and all of a sudden she heard all of these like bangings and these clicks coming from the basement. And, it spooked her. It sent chills up her spine. She didn't know what to do. She asked her friend, she's like, should I call the cops? There's a lot of banging going on in my basement. And the friend talked her out of it, was like, no, it's probably just your heater kicking on, or it's probably just the dryer. And she had recalled that she did put stuff in the dryer right before her parents had left. So she calmed herself down and told herself it was just the dryer, and then the banging stopped. So then she felt, a little bit more safer, and she was, continuing to talk to her friend, and she's like, and they were just discussing their little girl thing, and she hung up on her friend, and she decided to sit down and watch a movie. Then all of a sudden she heard these bangs again coming from the basement. Freaked out, but she told herself what her friend had told her, that it's probably just the heater. She had ruled out the dryer at this point because the dryer doesn't automatically come back on, but she was still a little scared. So she called up her friend and she asked her friend if her friend could come over and hang out with her because the banging was going on again in the downstairs in the downstairs in the basement. So her friend said, yeah, I'm on my way. And she hops into the car and she's talking to her friend or whatever. And her friend, the banging stops. This time the banging stops. There's no more banging in the basement. And she hangs up the phone with her friend, and she's just, waiting, watching TV, waiting for her friend to come over. Then all of a sudden, the banging again starts in the basement, and then she gets a phone call. And it's her friend telling her, I'm sorry, I can't come over. My mom said that I had to get this thing done. I forgot what it was. I think it was, I'm recalling an old story here. but I think it was something along the lines of she had somewhere to go in the morning or something like that. So she stays on the phone. She asks her friend if she can stay on the phone with her because it's kind of weird that the banging keeps happening. It stops and then it happens again and then it stops. So she wants to go into the basement to check it out. So her friend's like, okay. So her friend stays on the line with her, and as she approaches the basement door, the banging stops. She's like, it stopped again. And then her friend's like, well, you have to go down there. You have to see what that banging is. So she opens up the basement door, and as she's coming down the steps, the bangings get really loud. She jumps out, and she's like, I can't do this. I can't go down there. And her friend was like, well, I can come by for like a couple of minutes. I'll be there. So she's like, I'm only 5 minutes from your house. Just wait. I'll be there. I'll go down with you, and then I'll just go home afterward. So she's like, okay. So she goes back upstairs. She shuts the door. She hears the banging again in her basement. And she's like, you know what? This is ridiculous. It's probably just the furnace. And she knew her friend was coming over anyways, so she opens up the basement door and she goes down, and as she's going down the steps, she can hear all this banging, like all of this banging. And then she turns the corner and she looks at her dryer, and there is a man sitting on her dryer, banging the crap out of her dryer. Ooh. She flew up the stairs, but the man came up right after her, grabbed her, and just as he was about to harm her, her friend came in and screamed, and he ran out the back door. But I can't remember where I heard this from. It was one of those basements where they have, they have that one little the storm door or like the cellar door. So that's where he got in from. And I can't remember exactly where I heard this from, but that story in general gave me the creeps, you guys, when I was a kid. I always had a basement. I always lived in houses where there were basements, and I would always hear the furnace kicking on or the dryer going. And to this day, that was the main reason why I wouldn't go in the basement. Now, I believe in spirits. I believe in the paranormal. And I talk to them. I am a tarot reader. I am a medium. But the ghost world never really scared me as much as the living world. And just to know that, just the thought of somebody being in your basement, for hours and tantalizing, it just gives me the creeps. But that was the one thing that stuck with me. And to this day, I cannot go down in the basement at night. Yes, I am a full-grown woman that, especially when there's nobody home, I cannot go down in the basement. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this spooky, scary story. I know that it was kind of choppy a little bit. My other content, I'll do a little bit more research, but I recalled a story that I heard from childhood. I can't remember where I heard it or where I seen it. Maybe I read it somewhere, but it just stuck with me. And let me know your thoughts on the basement. Do you have fears of going down into the basement? What are your main fears? What scares you? What has stuck with you from your childhood that you still do to this day? That spooks and creeps the hell out of you. Let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know how you like these spooky story, little spooky story shorts for my 13 days of Halloween. I will be getting into regular content after the Halloween season, so I hope you all enjoyed, and I miss you all, and I wish you all the best, And until the next upload, be kind to yourselves and to each other. See you later, guys. Bye.